And we have more breaking news. A jury has finally been selected and opening statements are getting started in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Prosecutors are expected to paint Combs as the head of a criminal organization who exploited his fame and fortune to sexually abuse women and men.
Our next guest was a New Jack Swing superstar in the 80s. Now, Al B. Sure is using his second chance at life to fight for health equity.
After surviving a coma and liver transplant, he's an advocate pushing for real healthcare change. He's also exposing shocking truths about the music industry and recording artist Diddy in his upcoming tell-all, Do You Believe Me?
A's the most explosive trial in music history begins. The drama is already off the charts. Diddy isn't just fighting lawsuits, he's fighting for his life and legacy. Then came the shocker. Legendary singer Al B. Sure dropped a bombshell in a tell-all interview. He didn't hold back. Al says he's ready to testify, under oath, that Diddy had a hand in Kim Porter's death. And if that wasn't enough, Al claims Diddy may have tried to take him out too.
Because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, just mysteriously out of the blue, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through almost more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Really? What's wrong with you? No way. But not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting. Yeah. I get calls, take it down, or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago. I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate and so on and so forth. I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and what's most relevant, and something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
For years, Diddy seemed untouchable, a kingpin of the music industry who answered to no one. Behind the scenes, though, the stories were different. Whispers of manipulation, intimidation, and violence. Al B. Sure lived it. In the 90s, he was in a serious relationship with Kim Porter. They had a son, Quincy. But after their breakup, Kim got involved with Diddy. Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, didn't mince words. He said Diddy stole Kim from Al Clip, 3 Diddy even went as far as adopting Quincy and raising him as his own. On the surface, it looked like love. But behind the scenes, chaos. Diddy and Kim were on again, off again until 2007. Diddy publicly admitted their final split was because he cheated, but ex-staffers claimed that wasn't the full story. According to insiders, including his former bodyguard, Diddy was abusive, not just toward Kim, but also toward Cassie and other women in his orbit.
Him and Al never been the best of friends. He had motherfuckers think that he had adopted Quincy, and he never did. Al was never out of his son's life. I knew Al way back in Mount Vernon. He used to wear leather pants in 100 degrees. I was fucking with Al. I knew it way back then, though, man. Al a good dude. A good dude. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if Al got something to say about that's happening to him and Puff has something to do with it, trust and believe he gonna have evidence to substantiate that Puff did that shit. Either he gave him something or sent something his way.
But what was the beef between Albert Shore and Diddy? Like, why wasn't they on good terms?
The nigga was dating Kim. You understand? That's his kid's mother. And they was cool. They was friends. Misa and Kim was cool. They was all in that Uptown family. Uptown Records family. How you gonna date the mother of you my man, you cool. We all be around each other. And you dating the mother of my son. Alan never go try to date Misa. You know what I mean?
One haunting story took place on Sunset Boulevard. Diddy allegedly got physical with Kim inside a car. She stepped out moments later, composed, like nothing happened. But she wasn't. Silent. She warned him. If he ever touched her again, she'd make sure the world saw what he did. This wasn't a one-off. This was a pattern. What Cassie would later reveal? Kim had already endured it. Al B sure didn't want trouble, but everything changed when Kim confided in him. She was terrified. In 2018, Kim Porter died suddenly. The official report said pneumonia. Diddy mourned publicly. Al didn't buy it. He believes Kim was about to go public about the abuse, and Diddy had her silenced.
A lot of things happened to Kim that she never explained to her father. So to see that girl take that beating like that, her father probably thought within himself, that's some of the things that happened to my daughter. And it has to be sickening to him, knowing that his daughter probably went through the same shit that Cassie went through.
Yeah, he made a comment saying that he was disgusted when he seen that video. He even said that he wouldn't even do a dog like that, the way Diddy did Cassie.
Yeah. His heart would go out to Cassie because he's looking at the fact that his daughter's not here to even raise her own damn kids, man. His daughter's not here in the seat, because I got daughters myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I give my heartbeat, both my arms. And just to imagine to think that somebody was doing that to your daughter, bro. I know Kim got tired. That's why she took that corkscrew and ripped his damn arm out. Tried to rip his arm off for putting his hands on it. I know she was tired. Them pillow fights and that smothering her with the pillows and all that, like he playing with her. I know she was tired.
Yeah, he also told Rolling Stone that Diddy, he's a jealous person that don't know what love is.
He knows that, bro. Kim couldn't have nobody, bro. Kim couldn't have nobody. You understand what I'm saying, bro? Diddy could do whatever, Puff could do whatever he wanted to do, Brother Love could do whoever he wanted to be. If Kim ever tried to get with somebody, Puff would interfere with them or with her trying to be.
Just weeks after Kim's sudden death, Al B sure spoke out. He begged for an investigation. But instead of support, he was mocked. People called him paranoid, emotional, unstable. Still, he refused to be silenced. He said Kim warned him this would happen. She even showed him a book she was secretly writing, one that exposed everything. That book, many believe, holds the secrets that could destroy Diddy for good.
You know how Al B. Shore, he came out saying that Kim Porter death needs to be looked into?
I think that Al being his ex-wife, he have every right, knowing about the stuff that came out about Diddy and what he was doing. You understand, what he has done in the past, and people have overlooked it. By him coming out and saying that he hoped that he could get her case reopened. There was a guy called John Paperwork, the Paperwork Party. They was put in an open petition to get Kim's case reopened. You understand what I'm saying? So I'll be sure doing this is showing that, you know, he still got love for Quincy's mother. He still want to find out the truth, because allegedly Kim was fine the day before and the day of her death. And then now she found in the bed dead from pneumonia. That just don't sound right, bro. That don't sound right at all.
So you feel the same way about her death being suspect?
I don't think nobody in America thinks it's nothing suspicious about Kim's death, bro. If you are rich like that, you could, you know, Kim had, I think a net worth of like, what, 12 million a year or something like that? Kim could have called any doctor to come over and look at her. If she was that bad, you know, she could have called an ambulance or something like that. Everything is suspicious about her death, bro.
Then Al went quiet. He had a serious health scare. Some said it was just a coincidence. Al doesn't think so. He believes someone tried to shut him up, permanently. But after Diddy's arrest and lawsuits made headlines, Al came forward again, louder this time. He said he'd been tagging law enforcement for years, sharing Kim's final words. Her phone and computer? Gone, stolen after her death. Gene Deal backed it up. Kim's files, her book notes, they vanished.
I was terrified of Kim Porter's book. Just like Jay-Z was afraid of Kathy White's interview. It's funny how things that they're afraid of disappear.
Who you think is next on the chopping block? Because I believe there's a chopping block, and there might be...
Oh, there is. Sean Carter. They're trying to avoid him. I'm going to make sure they can't. I have a total of 9 witnesses that are about to start coming forward. I'm going to walk them one by one. But the things that these people have to tell, and the video evidence and the recordings that they had, it's worse than Diddy. A lot of psychological operations being ran on employees, former girlfriends, mothers of secret children, interns that refused to sign non-disclosure agreements. Their lives were literally blown to smithereens. I was lucky to survive him. If you really look at their careers, it's just a trail of bodies that they've been stacking up and standing on.
Now, Al is demanding more than justice for Kim. He wants a full-scale investigation into everyone who was around her when she died. He believes this wasn't just one man's crime, but part of a much darker network.
Told me before this interview that Dallas Austin, his daughter, was at her house the day she died.
Yo, I heard that the Paperclip Party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report, that Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said. But they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
I ain't know any of that, man. I never heard of that. So when they found her, she had bruises and a lot of her stuff was missing?
Bro, it's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than our house key, a woman gonna keep her phone and she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter's phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone.
And here's the chilling part. Kim's missing phone might hold the truth. It was reportedly taken as evidence, then disappeared. Some say it links Diddy to everything that's coming out in court now. Others believe the rabbit hole goes deeper. That other artists who died under strange circumstances, they might be connected too. It sounds wild until you hear it from insiders who say it all adds up.
I realize, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death. How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach. How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home or her friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and this is her say, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at? That the coroner them had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives them that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case need to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to paperwork at the paperwork part. I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia. Al ain't no fool, bro. Al is not a fool, and he's smart by getting extra security. I don't blame him at all. If I wasn't retired, I'd probably be working for him.
There's a growing theory. Kim Porter, like Cassie, was preparing to blow the eye. Whistle on Diddy. And like Cassie, she almost didn't survive. But Kim never got the chance to speak. Now that Diddy is facing real charges, people are revisiting everything Al said. This time, they're actually listening. In a recent Fox News interview, Al didn't flinch. He said flat out, he believes Diddy killed Kim.
Feel because you're not supposed to be here, that gives you the freedom to talk now? Because you survived?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. Listen, my faith serves me so well. You know, I'm in prayer every single day, multiple times a day, just saying, you know, just let's get this right. And when you think about it, for me, I don't even wish him harm. I don't wish him, you know, I don't want to be here. I would love for us to all be, you know, riding in the sunset. We sold millions of records. We've affected the culture. We celebrated our genre of music that we came from, hip hop. You know, this is supposed to be a celebration. This shouldn't be a national court case. So there's no anger with me. I don't produce anger, jealousy. That just doesn't come from.
Al says he tried for years to tell the truth. No one listened. He claims there was a full-blown smear campaign to ruin him, paint him as unstable. He even believes there was a bounty on his head. And now, even though he didn't volunteer, he's been subpoenaed. He will be on the stand. And he's ready. This isn't for clout. It's survival. Al says Diddy still holds power, even behind bars. When asked if he's afraid, Al said no. He's the only one who spoke up. And he's still alive. That alone speaks volumes. For years, people laughed at Al. But now, the receipts are piling up, and others are backing him with chilling details.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let
be.
me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were, all 8 were victimized.
Yeah,
meaning
victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Burgess went on Banfield on News Nation, and he revealed that he was given 11 flash drives that contain alleged sex tapes involving Combs and celebrities. And he said, of the 8 celebrities on the tapes, those who are victims of Sean Combs, they're not perpetrators, victims, he said 2 or 3 were minors, which, as you know, is consistent with a number of allegations in the civil lawsuits that Sean Combs is currently facing. To be clear, though, Combs is currently not criminally charged with anything with respect to minors. That could change. But right now, he's just charged with trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution, but all with respect to adult victims. If there's a superseding indictment, he gets hit with new charges, possibly about victims, we shall see. But this is what brings me to what we're talking about right now. So, Mr. Burgess has claimed that he got these flash drives from the late girlfriend of Sean Combs, Kim Porter, who, as we know, tragically died several years back from what authorities concluded was lobar pneumonia. And that is despite the fact that there have been rumors, both online and in the media, that there is something more to her death. And that, to be clear, totally unsubstantiated. That has been debunked. We've talked about it here on Sidebar multiple times. But putting that aside, here is the other thing with Mr. Burgess. He apparently says he owns the rights to a book that was reportedly based on the alleged memoir of Kim Porter. In fact, according to TMZ, Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that
Kim Porter knew things. Deep, dark things, things that could have ruined Diddy forever. If she had gone public, the entire industry might have cracked open, but she didn't get the chance, and neither almost did Cassie. She only barely escaped. It's terrifying to imagine how close she came. Diddy's not the only villain in Hollywood, but he may be the boldest. While others hide, he did his dirt in plain sight. Will justice finally catch up to him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story's far from over.